All right, good evening, everybody. Back for a bonus round of Captain Jack and the Flight Simulator. Tonight we're going to fly from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and we're going to fly down to El Paso, Texas here as we look on the, let's see, that should update here. Is it in here? Yeah, there we go, there we are. We're going to be Southwest 1130. And we're going to be in the 737-700 Colorado 1 this evening. And we're sitting here at Albuquerque. I'm going to change something real quick, and then we'll put the screen up there. We're going to make this another daytime flight so that we can actually see things around. Want to welcome you in tonight. I decided that I'd do a second stream here this week. Because we've got some time to do it, and want to welcome you back into the cockpit here. How you doing? Hope you've had a really good week so far. And yeah, you know, my knee surgery thing got straightened out, so now it's going to be December 19th. We'll be doing that on December 19th. So let's go ahead and put this in here. Our passengers and fuel are already loaded. Hey, Jesse, sweetie, I'm glad you're here. Thanks for checking in with me. And Graham up there in Scotland. Graham has made it again this evening. Graham, I really appreciate your very kind email. So we're going to go ahead and get back into the cockpit here. I've already done predominantly a large portion of the checklist, so we'll go over the rest of that at the moment. Our takeoff speed is set at this time. We'll get our runway heading here. Let me get my other tablet out, and we'll get our runway heading for runway 08 here at Albuquerque. Thought we'd fly out of Sunport, but it's not very sunny in the Sunport today. As a matter of fact, it's pretty cloudy down there. We always use real weather here on the flight sim, so we've got some cloudy skies and cloudy conditions. Our altimeter is at 29.85. So let me pull up Albuquerque here on my tablet, and we'll get our runway heading and go ahead and get that set. We're going to be flying RNAV into El Paso here this evening. And so, Jesse, if the boys are there, hi, Oliver, hi, Lucas, nice to see you. And John is here. Hey, John says, hey, Captain Jack got in from Dallas on a 737-700. Wow, John, I'm honored that you're here tonight. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy the stream and can hang out for some of it here. All right, let's go ahead and get our heading into the MCP up here for runway 08 on the takeoff. We're going to be taking off essentially to the west. Let's see, let me make sure I'm on runway 08. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, so we're going to be taking off to the east. We're going to be taking off to the east looking at the chart here. All right, so let's go ahead and set our course to 09er, or 079. Get that put in. John, I'm really happy that you're here tonight. Appreciate you checking out the stream, my friend. Glad you had a few minutes to jump in there and we were able to get it going. So let's go ahead now and set our heading also for the runway heading of 079. We'll get that up. And we're doing VATSIM tonight. It doesn't look like that we have a controller in for the Albuquerque area at this time. I'll go ahead and pull this up and show this to you here on the screen. So we're here in Albuquerque. As you can see by the green number 1, it says that we're getting ready to go Southwest 1130. KABQ to KELP, and we're going to skirt. Here's KELP here. It's going to be a real short flight, folks. I thought we'd do a short flight tonight, and you know, we almost should have flown into Dallas because we'd have plenty of coverage in there, and I do have a really beautiful rendition of Southwest's home field, Love Field, so maybe we'll do a flight into Love Field here on the stream before too long. All right, let's go back to our checklist. Ollie is here. Lucas is being sleepy boy. Okay. Well, I love you both, and I'm glad you're here. Glad you're watching Grandpa here on the flight stream. That's pretty cool. All right, let's set our cruise altitude up in the pressurization panel, and that is going to be 38,000 feet. So let's get that set in there. We need to get our landing altitude at... let me pull this up here. All right, our landing altitude at El Paso. I'm just going to pick a runway for the minute. I forget. I think it's runway 22. Okay, 3,900 feet. So we'll go back in here and we'll set our landing altitude to 3,900 feet. And our pressurization panel is set. We do have our APU on already at the time it's powering the airplane. We've got the fuel on for that. Everything looks good. The window heat is up. The IRSs should be aligned by now. And actually, we're seeing that down here on the MFD and the PFD. So the IRSs are set. We've got everything pretty well set before that. All right, let's get our flight directors turned on. Switch our flight directors on there. Our minimums reference we're going to set for 200 feet, so that would be normal for a takeoff here on this runway. So we'll dial that up, and we are going to use a radio altimeter on takeoff. Okay, good. That is set. Our altimeters are already set. We can see that. Yep. Right there on the PFD, that is all good. All right, let's go ahead and turn on our fuel pumps, and we're going to get ready for pushback here. Let me go ahead and make an announcement on 122.8 Albuquerque traffic. Albuquerque traffic, this is Southwest 1130, going to push back from the gate and taxi to runway 08. Once pushback, we'll announce taxiway instructions for that. Southwest 1130. Okay, that is announced, and let's see. Okay, let's go back up top here. Our electric hydraulic pumps are set and on. Once again, going by the checklist here. The parking brake is on. We can see that here with our big red light. You know, I did learn this in this aircraft. We can do a lot more tests now on some of the features and some of the alarms. Test the fire alarms here. All right, those all come up and test good. We can then do a test for the cargo fire if there is one. Okay, there we go. Mike, hey, Mike, welcome. Mike Bokey is here. Mike, are there air traffic controllers, real humans in the sim? Yes, there are. Right now, we're not under the coverage of one of them, unfortunately, here in the Albuquerque area. But there's some software and a website called VATSIM, VATSIM, and that's what we're going to be talking with tonight. And I'll also show you this real quick. Let me bring this up on the screen. This is the VATSIM network, and all of these are flight simulators. And let's go ahead and pull out to where we get a real-world view in Europe and everything else. These are all flight simulators on the VATSIM network. It's really, really cool the way that this works. Unfortunately, we don't have someone covering Albuquerque here this evening. But here's our flight. You can see it says Southwest 1130 and KABQ to KELP El Paso. So that's us. We'll actually be able to see that. We also use another website called FS Hub. And if we pull up the radar on FS Hub, these are all flight simulators that are using this particular website as well. And you can see our aircraft here in New Mexico once it loads and comes into play. And you see there's Captain Jack, and there's our flight track that will tell you if you're watching this, and you can watch this on your own on the web, fshub.com. FSHub.io and click on radar and then zoom into Albuquerque, New Mexico. FSHub.io and then click into the radar, zoom in down into New Mexico, and you can see that it's also showing our flight path here. Let's let the rest of it load real quick. There we go. And it's showing our flight path on down into El Paso. Who knows, maybe we'll get lucky and pick up an air traffic controller here. We'll see if that comes out. All right, so let's go back to the checklist here. We're ready for pushback and startup. So we're going to clear with the ground crew. We're going to make sure our packs and our isolation valve is open. Packs are off, so we're ready for engine start here. Let's go ahead and set up our pushback. Go to FS Actions and Pushback, and we're going to remove the chocks. We're going to select our tug, and we're just going to get a straight out pushback so we can listen for this.
Cockpit to ground. Go ahead. We've been cleared for pushback and start, tail straight out. Roger that. Ready for push straight back. Release the brakes, please.
Okay, we're going to release the parking brakes, and there we go. We'll look down and verify that brakes are released. All right. I'm going to switch this to where I can see the engine start up.
Brakes released. Here we go.
And here we go with pushback. All right, let's get up here and start up number 2. And we can see the N2 starting to spool up. Once it gets to 25, once again, 25%, we'll go ahead and introduce fuel by flipping up the fuel lever. Okay, there's 25%. Fuel level lever is up. Let's take a look at the pushback outside here. Hear the engine starting up. Okay, we're going to let him go ahead and stop the pushback. We're going to put the parking brake on. Parking brake is on. Let's go ahead and start up engine number 1. We're watching for 25% on the N2. Okay, let's introduce fuel and start to watch that engine spool the rest of the way up there. It looks like we're going to climb out into some clouds today. That should be real interesting. We're loaded for 90 passengers tonight. We've got about 4,800 pounds of baggage and luggage and cargo. Okay, we're about to get full up run here of engine number 1. All right, there we go. I heard your click, and that means that we're ready to turn on the generators. You can see that both engines are now in the off position. So let's kick on our engine generators and go back up here and check Gen 1. All right, looks good. Gen 2 looks good and stabilized. We'll go ahead and throw on our probe heat, and we'll turn on the packs. And we'll turn off the isolation valve, and we'll go ahead and we can turn off our APU. Okay, we are pretty much ready for taxi. Let's get our auto throttle armed and on. Okay, everything is set for the startup. We are good. Generators 1 and 2 on. We've done that. APU bleed air and APU gen is off. Okay, let's put our engine start switches into continuous here as we get ready to taxi down to runway 08, which will be to our left. Hey guys, are you getting excited for Christmas? Have you got your Christmas decorations up and all that kind of good stuff? We did ours here in the house last weekend, my wife and I, on Saturday. So it definitely wasn't flight simming then. We do have some rain and showers once again around the Albuquerque area, looking at the weather radar here. So we might have a little bit of that on takeoff. So we're going to taxi to our left. We're going to take off on runway 08. Albuquerque traffic, Southwest 1138, ready for taxi to runway 8 via Alpha 1 to runway 8 from the terminal. Southwest 1128, Albuquerque. All right, let's go ahead and see if we're clear there. Yeah, we don't have any other VATSIM planes here, so it looks like we're the only ones. Let's release our parking brake. Okay, let's release our parking brake. Okay, there we go. And go ahead and spool up the engines and taxi on over to runway 8. We'll go ahead and set our flaps. Flaps 5 for takeoff. Okay, one more thing here. Yep, we got to get rid of the tug. Now we're moving. You know, we're going to do a flight in X-Plane 11 here pretty soon. I've got my X-Plane 11 running pretty well. And I'd like to get a flight going in X-Plane 11. Looks like our flaps are set. Yep, everything looks good. And we can tell on our flap indicator here that we're at flaps 5 there on the main screen. All right, let's set our auto brake to RTO, and we'll go through some more of the checklist here as we're rolling down to runway 08. Set our panel display back to normal. And the taxi lights are on. Yep, flaps are set. Let's check our annunciator recall. That looks good. Everything is set there. We're going to go ahead and turn on the wing and anti-ice and the engine anti-ice because we are going to be climbing up through some clouds and we're just above freezing here on the ground. Hey, Levi's here. Hey, Levi. Man, I'm glad you're watching. I'm sorry. I should have noticed that before, but I didn't look far enough. No, Mike, I've never flown into a bird. Must say, they don't simulate that here. Now, you can simulate failures. And when I'm doing a live stream, I think one night we'll simulate failure of one engine just to see what we would do. The other day when I was flying, and I had a engine drop off on me because I hit a switch too soon, and I had to hand fly the aircraft back around, and I managed a very good landing, actually. I was pretty happy with that landing. So, you know, we might one day go, oops, one day here on the flight stream and do an engine failure, but I've got to train myself a little bit more than that. All right, let's go ahead and get ready for takeoff here. We're going to reset our fuel flow rate. Auto brakes are at RTO. We see there on the panel. That is checked. Center fuel pumps, we don't need. Strobe lights and landing lights are on. Transponder, we're going to go to TARA. So down here, we're going to change this switch over. And I'm going to do that here on my panel button. So we are in traffic avoidance mode. All right, that looks good. Flaps are checked. Yep. Brakes are on, and we're going to reset our clock so that we have our actual flight time here. Let's do a reset on that. Okay, come on, get up there. Well, I'm hitting reset. It's not reset. Okay, we're at 0 and 30 seconds, so we'll just count that for now. All right, let's roll on to the runway. Albuquerque traffic, Southwest 1130, ready for takeoff, runway 08. Southwest 1130, Albuquerque. All right, let's go ahead and roll forward. And get on the runway here. Okay, Mike says at DFW there's a lot of geese at the airport. You know, I watched a documentary on that, Mike, just a week or so ago. And yeah, you know, they actually have ground crew, and some of them even have dogs and other devices to help keep birds away from the runway. It was really interesting on how they do that. All right, let's spool our engines up to 40%. We're going to do a southwest turn and burn. There's our runway. All right, let's get lined up on the center line and let's hit toga. And here we go, guys. Takeoff. A little slight forward pressure on the yoke.
Airspeed's alive. 80 knots.
80 knots checked. Release pressure on the yoke.
Rotate.
V1, rotate. Let's get up in the air.
Positive rate of climb.
Okay, positive rate of climb. We'll go gear up. You try to hold right on the cross magenta line there. Hit our LNAV and VNAV buttons. We're going to turn up into our flight path here. Okay, we can come up flaps 1. Yes, a fairly short flight this evening. Okay, and flaps up fully retracted as we hit 198 miles an hour. Taking off here on the south side of Albuquerque from Albuquerque Sunport that today is not very sunny. I can let you look out the window here because I'm flying by instruments here on the other monitor that I have set up in front of me. Okay, starting that right turn here at our first waypoint. Throttling back to about 250 miles an hour because we're not supposed to go over that. Below 10,000 feet. All right, let's straighten out here on our flight path heading. See the airport back there with the blinking light. Engines are throttling back as they should. And they're going to throttle back up here as we begin our next section of climb. We're at about 9,100 feet right now, so let's come back up on the flight deck. Let you guys watch it from here. We're going to head up into the clouds now. I'm still hand flying the aircraft. And once we hit 10,000 feet, which there we go, go ahead and hit Command A on the autopilot. Command A is engaged. All right, so I am letting the aircraft fly herself now. There we go. We're reaching altitude here in just a couple of minutes. We're going to reset our barometer to standard, which will be 29 or 9 or 2. And we do that once we hit 18,000 feet, which is our transition altitude. Okay, as we get here, we're going to go through some of the checklist here. We're going to turn our auto brake off, our gear lever we're going to bring into the off or locked position. Okay, so that's in the correct position now. Engine start switches, we're going to come back to our overhead and they go off. Okay, that completes the takeoff checklist and we're up in the clouds. See about where our top of climb is. We've got a high top of climb for such a short trip. So yeah, if we look here on the MFD, on the main flight display, we can see we've got a top of climb. In this case, about how many miles out? About 80 nautical miles out, and then about 90 miles out is our top of descent. All right, now we're getting up into some clear blue sky. That's nice. I wonder if somebody has come in VATSIM and no, it really doesn't look like it. Here we are, just taking off out of Albuquerque. And we're only flying down here, and right now we've got some coverage over in the central and western part of Texas, but not far enough on out to El Paso. So unfortunately tonight it doesn't look like we're going to have any VATSIM. You can see this region here that belongs to one of the VATSIM controllers, or a couple of them, but yeah, they're not going to be with us this evening. Doesn't look like that. It's too bad. It's always a lot more fun with the VATSIM guys. Mike says, do you have a SIM rating? They say you crash a bunch of times. Do they ban you? No, not that I'm aware of. If you crash a bunch of times, I don't think they ban you as far as that goes. But, you know, I'm not even sure how to tell that I may have a SIM rating. I have not learned enough about it at this point. So once again, if we look at the fshub.io radar site, we're zoomed in on New Mexico. There we are, proceeding along our flight plan down to El Paso. And of course, it gives you an amount here of the flight that's completed on that website. And if we come back here again to the SIM website, let me get my states correct here. You know, it has not shown me taking off for some reason from Albuquerque. All right, we've got an alarm here. Let's see what's going on. Okay, that's it. I was talking and I forgot to reset that. So let's see if I can silence the alarm. Cabin altitude. Now, normally that would happen when you don't have your packs and bleeds set on. So I'm not sure why we're seeing the alarm here. Yeah, I'm really not sure why we're getting that alarm. Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to pull that down so that it's not being totally obnoxious. Let's go through all our switches now. I did not set the yaw damper, but that should not be causing this issue. Yeah, everything's as it should be. Wait, it might be the engine bleeds. I'm not sure why those are off. Normally those are on. Let's see if that bleed error then takes care of our pressure. Yep, here's our differentiation. Okay, that says the cabin altitude. Okay, we're starting to climb back up on the cabin altitude. Yeah, I'm not sure why those engine bleeds were off. They were not off a minute ago, or at least I didn't think they were. We've also lost our auto and landing altitude. So the cabin altitude pressure is coming back. Yeah, I've not seen this alarm before, folks. I do not know exactly what we have going on here. It looks like the pressure differentiation is coming back to where it should normally be. Yeah, Tom, you know, we're still climbing towards top of climb, though, so the seatbelt sign has to stay on to top of climb. And Randall says, are there enough parachutes for us all? Hey, there we go. Okay, I solved the problem. For some reason, the engine bleeds were turned off, and I did not see that because I had the APU bleed down on these two at the same, at least I think it did. All right, so we've extinguished that. All right. One problem out of the way. Randall, thanks for being here tonight. AE7RJ, my buddy Tom, KD4DT, Mike. Mike, I've forgotten your call sign. It's been a while since we've talked. So I'm glad you guys are all here. All right, well, we solved that issue, so not too bad. Oh, did it? Yeah, an oxygen mask probably would have dropped, Tom. We'd have to head back to Albuquerque, but you know what? We're going to press on. That's awesome. You know, guys, I got to tell you, I am not 100% perfect at this by any stretch of the imagination. I'm still learning an awful lot of stuff here. Oh, now, you know what? I did not have all of that up on the screen for you. I forgot that I had the screen up there. All right. Well, you know what? I'm trying to fly and run a stream at the same time. All right, well, we'll be at top of climb here. Let's do a zoom in about 38 miles, and then you're right, Tom. We'll have to turn the seatbelt signs on. Y'all better go to the bathroom real quick because it's going to be only about, it looks like about a 20-mile cruise for this very short flight. Yeah, there's not much time to enjoy first-class amenities, but remember, this is not necessarily a. This is a Boeing 737-700, and it's Southwest. So, you know, I wish they let you mimic passengers. We're carrying, with all the mathematics, a 90-passenger load, so it's not a very full flight there. So yeah, you know, y'all wave at each other. Y'all wave at each other as we go by there. And hey, everybody! Hey, there's I see there's Randall, there's Tom, there's Mike, there's Jesse, Lucas, and Oliver. Okay, everybody's here. And Levi, hey, Levi's in there. That's right. John Bissett. John, thank you so much for being here. All right, let's get back up on the flight deck and keep in mind on what we're doing here, at least to some degree. Okay, yeah, we still do not have any ATC for this area. I'm really kind of disappointed in that because there was somebody on for Albuquerque and would have been El Paso the other day. Let's look outside the aircraft. Got a lot of clouds. This is real-time weather, guys. We just passed over Socorro. Would have been nice to be able to look down and see if we can find the mountain that our Skyhub Link Socorro repeater is on. Okay. Back in the cockpit. Hey, Tom, just in case, hey, Graham, thanks. I appreciate the kind words there. Yeah, a little hiccup here and there, but that's all right. One thing I'm going to do real quick before we get to our top of climb, let's go ahead and import the weather. Okay, 55 degrees, 29.89er. Let's check our runway again. For landing, 26 left. No, wait a minute. We got to go to landing dispatch. 26 left. All right, there we go. And let's do our calculation there. All right, our VREF, I was expecting 139. Our weight's going to be 129,200 pounds. We're not going to have any icing going on. It's too warm in El Paso. All right, so that part looks good. Yeah, we had a real good time the other night on Tuesday evening this week, talking to the air traffic controller who was controlling Denver. His name was Chris, and he actually is a real-life traffic controller. Pretty amazing stuff there. I thought that was cool. Okay, one more thing we can look at here that I can show you guys on the VATSIM map. By the way, this is VATSpy, the software VATSpy, and you can actually take a look at this as well. So here we are. We're actually about to make that left dogleg turn. So here's Albuquerque, and here's El Paso. So yeah, fairly short flight. Maybe we should have gone on to Dallas tonight. That would have been bad. Albuquerque to Dallas, probably about an hour and a half or so. Okay, we'll bring that down. Yeah, if you guys have any questions or anything that you'd like to ask, feel free to do so in the chat. And please press that thumbs up button. Smash that thumbs up button for me. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, that would be really helpful. I would appreciate that. Okay, we're finally coming up on top of climb. That was a long climb to 38,000 feet. We're going to go ahead and set our altimeter minimum indicator over to barrel. All right, we're leveling out now at 38,000 feet. All right, let's go ahead and clear that seatbelt. Seatbelts are off. You are welcome to... I'm still not liking... You're welcome to go to the bathroom if you want to. I'm going to put this over in manual. There we go. That will help that. So we're at 38,000 feet. Do have a red indication over here. Okay, that's the next thing I'm going to read about, maybe watch a video on, is the differential pressure, because we're showing just under 6 pounds PSI in the cabin, which is what it should be. Right, but we haven't taken off yet. No, we're in the air, man. But yet the outer PSI here, and it's showing us above 33,000 feet. See, I'm not 100% sure what's going on. I'm going to switch back to auto for a minute. Let's see if that clears it up. Once again, I don't know an awful lot about this particular part. Okay, auto fail. Auto is failing, so we're going to go back to manual. All right, well, that's keeping everything at least happy for the moment, so we will live with that. All right, we're coming up on Slink, SLNNK waypoint. I'm going to go ahead and announce. No, Randall, you know, we're not necessarily flying over very interesting country right now. It is pretty. I mean, you know, Microsoft Flight Simulator really renders everything very, very accurately. If you look at this area on Google Earth, that's exactly what it's going to look like. I've just been amazed. Now, okay, now there's a big lake. Let's see. If I look on my other, so this is the south end of this lake is Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. Elephant Butte Reservoir. So this is Elephant Butte Reservoir near Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. Yeah, it looks like there's the town right there. So we kind of know where we are. And we're making that dogleg turn. Unicom traffic, southwest 1130 at, I believe it's Slink, SLNNK. Turning on a heading of 183 degrees at 38,000 feet, southwest 1130 Unicom. I don't necessarily know that I have to do that, but we'll do that anyway. Yeah, there's just nobody covering this area, so here we are once again. And we're making that left-hand turn to El Paso. And if we look here on the okay, there we are. And actually, I'm noticing the Similar is a little behind because we're already down in here, and there's Elephant Butte Reservoir right there. So this is a little behind. This fshub.io is a little more accurate there. Maybe just a tad bit behind, and you can see our progress there. All right. Okay, back up on the flight deck. Oh, well, here we go, another alarm. Let's see what we've got. It's probably that cabin altitude again. Yeah, I'm really going to have to read up on what's going on with this because okay, put it back in auto, and that shut that down. You can see that our needle here has moved way down out of the red. And our pressure differential is coming back into play. Okay. Yep, I'm going to have to really do some studying on that. This is the first time that I've run into that, and it's probably because those engine bleed switches for some reason got turned off. I am not sure why, but you know, we'll continue to learn and go together. Okay, we have hit top of descent, so I'm going to have to manually. I did not lower our altitude because I was looking at that problem. That's why it's really good to have two pilots. Sometimes, so we're going to go ahead and get back on our track. I'm going to start us down at about 3,000 feet because here on the MFD, this is not necessarily that big a deal. I have practiced this before when you miss the top of descent, and we do have to kind of watch our airspeed here, so it's fine at the moment. And we're going to wait for this now. No, that's showing us still over the, okay, we're going to have to descend a little bit harder so that we can catch back up with that. Okay, as we make that left turn, I'm going to go ahead and introduce some drag by putting on the speed brakes. Yeah, okay, cabin altitude alarm is cleared. That's good. Yeah, we may have to do a vector or two into the airport because we're not descending like I would like. And we may end up serving as our own air traffic control. Okay, now the descent rate is kicking back up where it should. Okay, we'll be able to correct this pretty easy there. So what I'm watching is our rate of descent indicator. And of course, I'm watching our airspeed. Can't let it get up to the red barber pole. So we're about 1,400 feet above. The magenta diamond is the point that we should be at, and that's got to come back up. So we'll be there in a minute. We're descending and we're getting back on the indicator, so that's good. So let's watch that just a moment. Once we get to about 150 feet above the glide slope down, then we'll put ourselves back in vertical VNAV navigation. We're at 700 feet or so. We can see that the bar is starting to climb. I can ease off on the vertical speed a little bit. Let's bring that to about 2,500 feet per minute. And I hope you guys can see this on your screen. No, it wants a little more descent than that, so I'm going to take us back to 3,000. Let's get to where we can watch that. All right, that's coming back into where it should be. Okay, good. I did watch a video and learn how to do this when you miss your top of descent point and you're above your program flight path. Okay, we're at 200 feet. Okay, there's 150, so I'm going to go ahead and engage the VNAV again, vertical navigation, and we'll watch the airplane come back on to its proper descent point. Yep, there we go. It'll get there. All right, sometimes you just got to be patient. Okay, let's see if we can get some information on what our weather is going to be at El Paso. So in lieu of there being no ATIS, KELP. You know, the real trick with all this is to not panic and just do your job. All right, KELP is there, and let's let that go. Okay, 29.89ers. So we're going to set that into our altimeter, 29er, 89er. Okay, and that's set. You can see me doing that here on the PFD. So we've got that set. So when we hit 18,000 feet, we will reset that. Well, actually, I got to put this back up here to where you can see that, don't I? All right. So we reset the altimeter right here on the PFD to 29er, 89er, which is what we're getting as the altimeter reading in El Paso. All right, let's start doing some of our pre-checks here. Everything is good there. I did, however, not turn the seat belts back on, so we'll go ahead and turn those on. Ladies and gentlemen, please return to your seats as we're getting ready for our approach and descending into El Paso. Okay, we're not really going to have any nav aids for the avionics because we are coming in on the RNAV approach for El Paso, so we need to bring that up. And then we've got a couple of other steps to do. I'll bring that up on my iPad here. And we're doing the RNAV into runway 26 left. So I'm going to take a look at that, make sure that it agrees with our FMC. Right now, the winds are good. A 4-knot headwind. Here, let's look at this. Let's look at this on the screen. We've got a 4-knot headwind on runway 26 left and a 6-knot crosswind. So that's where we're going. Okay. All right, we'll continue our descent. Okay, it looks like we're going to come in really, really well here. We're going to go ahead and set our auto brake to 3. Actually, I want to look at the airport diagram here for just a minute. Yeah, okay, if we're coming in on 26 left. Yeah, let's set our auto brakes to 2 because that runway runs all the way down to the taxiway to the terminal. Okay, we're going to arm our speed brake. Go ahead and get that in there, and we need to reset our altimeter 3,000 feet ago. That's all right. We can see once again our descent path is right on the money. We're under 14,000 feet. We should be able to hold our airspeed. If we look at our flight plan here, let's look at our progress. 7.8 right now, 7,800 pounds of fuel. We'll have 7,300. So that's 0.5. Let's go ahead and subtract 0.5 from 115.1. That's going to give us a landing weight of 114.6. And we'll do a VREF of 30 and 126. Unable cruise speed. Yeah, we actually, you know what? There's one more thing that I need to do, and we need to get our, let's get our approach into the runway altitude set here. So our touchdown zone is at 3,900 feet, so I'm going to go ahead and set this for about 3,900 feet. Touchdown zone actually is 3962. We will reset that altitude just a little bit later. Okay, and we're making a right-hand turn here to come into the, looks like Jebsu waypoint. And we're coming up on 10,000 feet. El Paso traffic, southwest 1138 at 10,400 feet. Coming up on the Jebsu waypoint. Making for runway 26 left, southwest 1138, El Paso. Hey, taking a few turns here. Let's go ahead and set up our approach fix. Need to remember to do that. It is on the sheet, so we're going to take runway 26 left. Going to go to our fix page. We're going to insert that. We're going to give ourselves a 5-mile range ring, a 10-mile, as is normal procedure, and a 15-mile range ring. Okay, drag required. Let's go ahead and kick in the drag. as it is wanting us to slow down and get down to the prescribed speed, so we're good there. All right, we made it. I'm going to go ahead and rearm the speed brake. Take a look at where we're going here. I don't know why I have the Marty Robbins song El Paso going through my head right now. All right. Okay, we're a little above the descent path, but that's all right. The airplane will take care of that. Everything's looking pretty good at the moment. We're going to have a fairly tight turn. So I'm going to go ahead and take control of the speed, and I'm going to give ourselves flaps 1. Going to land in a little bit of haze, it looks like. So we're going to slow this down a little bit because we're just under 8,900 feet. And we are on... Looking at my tablet over here, we are really just smack dab on the proper approach. I just got an alert from Q8 Pilot on YouTube. Q8, the number 8 Pilot. Mini FCU by Mini Cockpits has finally arrived. I've actually been waiting for that. I'm gonna have to look that up a little bit later. I've actually been looking for that to come out. That it's basically a little autopilot controller. It's pretty doggone cool. Okay, so our landing weight is really going to be kind of light, so that's nice. Okay, I need a drink of water. And I did not bring any water up here. Let's see, I ought to ring somebody. Can you bring me some water? Okay, so let's make sure, too, that our approach course and everything is set properly. So we're going to go to 265. We do need that. And we're going to set our heading to 265. And, of course, the first officer. Okay, let's go through the rest of the approach checklist. Landing lights are on, seatbelts on. Cabin crew, you have been warned. We are coming down and about to make our final approach. Auto brake is set. Engine starts. Let's take those to continuous. All right. Radio and baro should be in baro position as it is, and we've got our minimum set on the PFD. That's good. Anti-ice, we're going to leave on. Speed is reducing as charted. All right, we're almost ready for our turn to final here, which we will be beginning in just a moment. It's pretty deserty out here. Not much else other than around the city. There's the city back off behind there, and there's the airport right there, just in front of our right wing tip. So we're looking pretty good at this point. Okay, speed brakes are armed, auto brake is set. We'll be putting our gear down here. Actually, we're going to go ahead and put our gear down now because by the time we make this turn, we're going to be on a 5-mile final. El Paso traffic, Southwest 1138, turning for a 5-mile final for runway 26 left. Southwest 1138, El Paso. Okay. We're going to go ahead and throw in flaps 10, and we're going to bring our speed down. And I'm going to have to give a little extra drag here, because right now we're coming in kind of fast. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go flaps 30 on the 5-mile final. Yeah, our speed's in the barber pole there, but we'll slow down. Not getting as much drag here as I might like, but we're all right. And we definitely need the RNAV approach, because, man, that runway is obscured. I think it's, yep, I see the runway lights, so we're all right. Okay, let's get that speed down. El Paso traffic, Southwest 1138, 5-mile final, runway 26 left, Southwest 1138, El Paso. Okay. All right, our speed's coming down where we need it to be. Let's take the speed brake off and arm. And we'll go ahead and ride the RNAV down.
1,000.
Okay, 1,000 feet. We're going to set the missed approach altitude to 6,000 feet. Okay, we're good. Yeah, I've got the runway in sight, so we're above minimums. That's all right. Our speed is where it should be. We're looking good there. All right, I am going to take the throttle. I have the throttle.
500.
And it's my aircraft. If I could get that to turn off. Good. I think I'm going to need to pitch up a little bit. Okay.
300.
Now we're looking good. Looking real good.
200.
Speed is good. Let's get back on the center line.
100.
We're a little above the glide slope. Let's pitch back in.
50. 40.
Eyes at the end of the runway.
30. 20.
A little off center.
10.
Reversers. Let's get back on the center line. Nose down. That's a good landing. Okay, remember this is a little bit shorter runway, but it does take us right to the taxiway off the terminal, so we're just going to stay here. Okay, manual brakes. Landing rate of minus 339. That says firm, but that was a good landing, and I forgot to record it, so we will not have replays tonight. Had that on the checklist. Okay, we can go ahead and clean up the airplane. Yeah, so we don't have a recording of the flight tonight. We're going to go ahead and taxi right off the runway. And I'm going to start the APU here on my front panel. All right, guys, welcome to El Paso. Really good flight. Pretty decent landing there. I'm super happy with that. And we'll get over to the terminal. Sorry, we're not going to have a replay tonight. You know, I have that on 2 places, noted on 2 places on my checklist, and I was paying too much attention to that speed coming down. All right, I'm going to stop here real quick. We're going to turn the landing lights off. We'll go ahead and turn the taxi lights off so we don't blind people in the windows. And let's see. Yeah, we'll just make a left turn right there into that, a right turn rather. And we'll go Parker. and start disembarking passengers, and we'll call it a night. Yeah, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2 puts those those taxi marking lights right in the middle of the taxiway for whatever reason. Okay, and we'll go ahead and pull on up to the terminal. And sorry, we're not going to have a replay. I got to like mark those in red or something. Don't forget your replay. I had it pulled up on the other screen to start, but just did not start it. All right. One other piece of software I'm looking forward to getting one day is called GSX. Let's put the brake on. Let's see how we did outside. Yeah, that'll be good. We can get that taxiway to come over to us. So first of all, let's start the engine shutdown. APU bleed is on. APU gen is on. Let's APU gen is good. We can switch off the fuel to the engines, and we can shut our engines down. Okay, the fuel is at cutoff. Okay, good. We'll turn that off. Engines are spooling down nicely. The aircraft is powered. Let's get back into here and get our ground services going. Chocks will set and ask for the jetway. Hey, William, I love you too, man. Thanks for tuning in here. We just landed in El Paso. And I think next time we'll maybe go El Paso to Houston. Or we'll do that. As we wait for the jetway here, and I'm going to go ahead and open the door. And once that jetway gets in place, we'll be able to disembark our 90 passengers. Let's get that set. Go back here. We're going to let our passengers off and start deplaning those folks. All right, there they go. You can request the baggage loaders, and we can set 0 for our target for that. And we'll let those guys get here, and we'll start disembarking and getting the baggage unloaded. And here comes our baggage loaders. Yeah, William, you know what? I've got Dallas Love Field. Really pretty scenery for that. Southwest flies into Dallas Love Field. Maybe we'll do a United jet from here to there so we can land at DFW. And yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool. All right, guys. Well, you know what? That's really about it. I want to thank you so much for joining me here on the Flight Sim this evening. Sorry we don't have any replays, but we'll get that in there next time. I've just got to follow that checklist a lot. Once again, I'm not going to have surgery now until the 19th of December, so I may try to do a couple of Flight Sims a week here. I really appreciate you guys watching. It means a lot to me. Smash that thumbs up button, and if you have not subscribed yet, please do that. All you guys who are here, please smash that thumbs up button. Really appreciate it. So we'll decide, and if you have any suggestions on flights, be sure to let me know. Would like to fly somewhere that you would. We generally speaking try to keep the flights to about an hour and a half. Good night, Jesse. Good night, sweetheart. Good night, Lucas. Good night, Oliver. And Alex, if you're watching, man, we love y'all, and maybe we'll see you for Taco House tomorrow night. Graham, so good to have you. Thank you for being here way up in Scotland, man. It's just amazing that you join us here so frequently. I really, really super appreciate that. And we will see you on the next one. In the meantime, live long and prosper. God bless you, and good night, guys. Have a great one. Hey, John, yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate your prayers, and thank you for being here. Very honored, sir. Thanks so much. See y'all next time. Randall, good night, buddy. 7:30 from KE0VH.